Hey everybody, so here we are on a Saturday morning, getting into the heat of June now in North Texas, and what that means is things have to be watered. The plants are starting to grow though from the uh, weather that we had in April, May, because we had some rain, but now it's June, it's going to get hot, may not be raining so much, and we got to keep the garden alive. And we got to start harvesting here too, because things are getting finally to that point. Let me show you a few things here in the garden. Let me switch this around and I'll look at what we got. So as you know, this year we've got tomatoes planted over on this side of the garden, and it's really strong green plants, healthy, no disease, no bugs, right? Which is always great here for North Texas, because we got a lot of bugs potentially that eats all our plants. So I'm probably going to trim some of the leaves in that as the plant grows up, just to give it a little bit more space between the plants. But you'll notice that as the plant has gone taller, and I've been stringing it up, but I'll need to string it up again, finally the tomatoes are here, right? So look at that. The bottom tomatoes are of course what grows first, and this one I'm going to pick now. I'm just going to twist it here. I could cut it, but it will fall as I hold the camera. See if I can pull this. Oh, I dropped it anyways. All right, so there's one tomato here. Now, what variety of tomato are these? It's right here what we call the black crim. You might have those at your local nursery. You can plant them and they grow really, really well here. There we go, that one came off. Okay, so there's two black crims, and you can see there's lots of green tomatoes, and they're wet because it watered this morning. So these are some healthy tomato plants here, and like I say, I'll trim some of the extra foliage that we don't need, string these up so that they don't flop over. But doing really well here with the green tomatoes. Now over on this side we have cherry tomatoes, and this is kind of a new position for cherry tomatoes. Last year, if you remember, I had them by the fence over there, and I just couldn't get to them very easily. So it's like, well, where can we stick some cherry tomatoes? And so we've planted them here, and now here's some cherry tomatoes that are ready to go. Nice yellow ones. Oops, dropping everything. Right, and here's some more yellow ones. And I put this green mesh fencing here just because it was convenient and I had it just at my fingertips. I probably would do something a little bit different that's easier to get behind in that. And what I may do is cut some holes in here as we go through, just to get to some of the cherry tomatoes. Here's one, another one. And come over here, because all the bottom ones are the ones that ripen first, right? There we go. So a few cherry tomatoes. Here's the basil. Gonna pick that, just because it's going to seed there and I want the plant to grow more. I got some oregano here, and like I say, basil, and oh, here's two little cherry reds. Boy, you can really smell that basil. All right, so a few cherry tomatoes that are ready to go, and the plants are growing nicely. What else do we have here? Here's some wild basil just growing in the pathway. The other thing that's growing really well here, and I better get my cutters because I'll need to cut these, is the eggplant. Now, I really like eggplant, and I specifically like the white eggplant because it tends to have less seeds than some of the bigger eggplants. But look at those already. Look at, as I move the leaves, yeah. So let me cut some of these eggplants that are big, and we can grill them today. Let me come over here and cut that. There we go. So there we are. Oop. I like these because they're kind of a Japanese variety. They're long and thin, and they have less seeds. They're good for the grill or anything that you use eggplants for. And like the bigger black round eggplants, they're fine too. But these sometimes grow quickly and more easily than the bigger variety. Now I haven't put any mulch down here, and I'll do that next time. So I'll just have to pull some of the weeds, which haven't been too bad. Now you'll notice here there's some more eggplant. So let me cut a few more, and we can probably have that for dinner today. Let me kind of cut that without cutting the plant. Yeah, there we go. There's another one. And you can let these get bigger if you want, but I like them, like I say, a little bit on the smaller end before we have to deal with the seeds. It's in there pretty tight. Wow. You can hear it. There we go. That's a nice one there. All right. So now I got a handful of white eggplant, and there's another one here too, really on the lower end. And so let me take that one out, because the more you, they got little spikes there at the top there. The more you harvest, of course, the bigger these other ones will get. And there's another one here. I could let it go another day or so. What about on the other side? Not only do I have the white kind of Japanese style, but there is also the darker ones here. Let me show you that. There we go. So that's nice too. So now we have Japanese black variety and the white variety. See? So you can throw those on the grill and have something nice. What else do we got here? Well, I planted some extra peppers in these pots. The banana trees that I've had for a few years are growing well. And then there's another little tomato way down here if you look. It's a yellow variety. Look at that. Let me pick him. There we go. Nice. These are like the lemon boy ones, if you know that variety. So that's really good. Let me put that here with the rest. So in the morning, you come out here and you see how we're doing. These are the pepper plants, and there's a nice pepper there that could be picked too. Look at this. Right? Now these are our Big Jim peppers, if you have that variety, just at the Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff. There we go. There's a nice pepper I can throw on the grill. And you'll notice that the other little eggplants are coming from the other plants too. Shishito peppers. They're growing nicely, lots of flowers. So let me put this down. Yeah, it's nice now. In June, we're harvesting things. Now, over here, we got the loofahs going again this year in the containers. So you can see that they've really started to take off and are starting to climb. The gladiolas here are kind of getting in the way, but yeah, I put a lot of extra seeds in here and I can thin these out, but we'll let this get established before I thin it out. One thing I'm happy to see is the persimmon tree. Lots of little persimmons on the tree, so that's nice. That tree's coming along very well. We of course have the what you call the which variety is this? The honeyberries. Yep, it's growing well. We had a few honeyberries this year. I'm going to transplant them to another place, but they've been growing well in the containers. If we go over here, I'll show you some other things. Some string beans that I threw into the empty area where the onions were. So they're coming along nicely. Some more eggplant. I got these in containers and they seem to be doing well. Little eggplants developing there too. They're kind of like a rounder instead of the longer shape. Some cucumbers that are starting to take off finally. Once the weather gets warm, and I gotta weed this a little bit here too, but and train it, it's like don't go there, go on the trellis. I'll pull some of these weeds. There we go. Cantaloupe over here, coming along a little slowly there. Artichokes are doing okay. These are some new cantaloupes that I planted too in containers just to have as a backup, and the raspberry patch is doing well. Here are some more peppers, and these are cayennes, and look, they're turning red. There we are. So the cayennes These are shishito peppers again, getting big. Plants are getting strong. And what I've done here, and let me pick a few more of these. Yeah, that's a nice sized pepper. Now it's getting a little tall. I'm gonna have to stake these up a little bit. But I put the fabric down and then just stuck the plants in a hole in the fabric just to help keep the weeds down and stuff like that. So that's kind of a nice help. But I need to string these up now so that they don't topple over and whatnot, because they're getting a little bigger. Because once they have the peppers and that on it, you know, they'll topple over until they get established. Zucchini, it's going a little slow for the zucchini. There's some zucchini back there that I'll pick. Let me get back there. Also, I have the fabric on because that way it keeps the weeds down in my bed. But the zucchini, I don't know. It's just a little slow going this year. Let me twist this. There's first zucchini, which is kind of an odd shape. But at least it's a zucchini that we got. Let me put this down. We planted sweet potatoes like we do every year, and they're doing fine, starting to climb up. But I only found enough sweet potatoes to fill one bed, which leaves another bed empty. We were disappointed that the stores didn't have the sweet potatoes this year, and I got to put some fabric down here in this pathway. So, you know, maybe we can still find them or just plant something else there this year. But that was a little disappointing. If we come over here, we got some more tomatoes. Oops, looks like that branch fell. I was stringing them up. But yeah, here's one that's ready to go. I'll have to string it up. But yeah, I need to cut back some of the plants here, some of the older leaves. But lots of green tomatoes, doing well. Doing well there. Blackberries need picking on my older plant. The newer plants that I've had are done. They are dying back, the old canes. The new canes are coming up. So we just need to clean up this patch for the old. They were done. They gave us so many blackberries this year. They gave us a whole lot in this patch. Back here I planted 2 new zucchini just to give me a different location for zucchini to see if we get different results. I don't know about that one place for the zucchini. For peppers here though, I kind of passed up the peppers. They're doing really good. We got lots of nice pepper plants, some more shishito peppers that I've again taken off. I really like those shishito peppers, and I plant more of those than anything else. So we'll need to harvest some jalapenos and again string these up. There they are. Give them a little more support as they get bigger. The Hungarian wax peppers, anchos, poblanos. They get a lot of sun here. They get a lot of good sun and water and nutrition. So we'll be picking a lot of this stuff. There's a strawberry over there. These strawberries have been in this patch for a while, and I don't like them here because it's hard to get and it's getting a little overgrown. I'm going to move them next year to maybe containers. But anyways, let's show you this one strawberry. Look, there it is. There's a strawberry. Yeah. So I'll eat that one now because it's probably pretty good. There it is. I'll clean this up and move the strawberry somewhere else. Clean up this back behind the fence here. It's getting a little too much. And then the tomatoes here. Oh, I'm going to have to string this up too. It's time to kind of string up and clean up some of the old vines here. There we go. But we'll be getting tomatoes out of this patch here too. So we should have lots of nice tomatoes. And then the raspberries, they're coming along well too, since I transplanted them. So everything seems to be growing, which is nice. The new cucumbers and things like that are growing well too. And then I put in these pea plants. I started them in a container and just letting them grow. So anyways, just a little update in the garden. Show you what we're doing. I'm going to put some more stuff in the empty areas here that I just got to clean out some. That's a wild Swiss chard that I just let grow, but I really do want to put more Swiss chard in that kind of summer heat tolerant leafy vegetables. That'll be good. So yeah, things are looking good in the garden. The fig tree is just overgrown, even though I cut it back, and the new growth has come on strong with lots of figs this year. I'll show you a few of those little baby figs that we'll have as the season progresses, so that'll be nice. And the loofahs, pretty soon we'll have the archway covered in loofah plants like we did last year, hopefully. So anyways, that's a little update for you. We will talk to you again. Bye-bye.